Hey everyone, it's Orange. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going through my thought process for this guild war. I'll explain to you guys. I'll try to explain like everything that I'm thinking about and how I picked my teams, so hopefully it will give you guys some insight and maybe help you guys out in Guild Wars too. So VictoriouSecrt, I think they're a pretty top guild. Not quite sure though, I don't really pay attention to that sort of thing very much. But yeah, shout out to them. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and find my first opponent, which is going to be this person with the lovely cheeks in their picture. And, okay, let me pause right here. Actually, let's see what I'm doing. I'm gonna try to kind of recreate things a little bit. Alright, so Celia has really high base speed, 113. Amesity only has 102 base speed. So I actually got outsped by Celia last week, and she was a defense trap. I forgot whose defense it was, but I don't think very many people have Celia, along with being faster than my Amesity, who's very fast, and also being a defense trap for Copper. So that was pretty crazy to see. But yeah, so I kind of want to Amesity Copper Bulldozer, or actually Bulldozer Amesity Copper, I guess, because Bulldozer would be in the leader slot because he got a new leader skill, the first defense, and I plan on coppering the Celia and then bulldozering the Wind Panda and then kind of finishing off Rakan. That should work, I think, but I'm just too afraid of the Celia outspeeding me because of her base speed, and I'm taking this guild pretty seriously. I don't really want to mess around because we don't pull them that often. I think maybe we fought them maybe like once or twice before, and I don't remember how strong they are, like if I struggled or anything like that. So we're not gonna I definitely want to either try to take the first turn against the first team and kill the Celia right away, because I don't want to be getting slept and CC'd, or I'm going to take second turn and try to do something from there. Either I'm going to pick a team that fights for a really long time but wins, or I'm going to pick a team that can eliminate the other team pretty quickly, like my Bulldozer team. I was thinking of using Bulldozer, Talc, Villagewol for the first round, and just hoping that the Celia doesn't sleep my Villagewol. So that way my Bulldozer's gonna kill the Celia right away, and then I'm probably gonna kill Rakan second. And it doesn't really matter, I guess. But yeah, I was thinking about rolling the dice, but that's all I have to say for now. Let me skip ahead and see what I ended up picking, or if I went through any more thoughts. And for the second team, I was pretty stumped as well because it has the Light Panda. So I just want to pick something with absolutely no attack bar increasing skills whatsoever. I'm okay, well, there's a little caveat to that. I'm okay with something like Orion, who has a pretty small attack bar boost that doesn't occur that often, or Villagewol, who also has an attack bar boost, but it doesn't occur that often. But I definitely do not want to be bringing something like Rukuni. So yeah, and also feel free to leave any teams in the comments down below. You can help the other people who are reading the comments, maybe, if you guys have any ideas that I haven't thought of. And yeah, I also want to say that I don't really know like everything about every monster to the T, so I might mess up a little bit here. But yeah, I'm trying to like read the skills and kind of re-familiarize myself to make sure that I'm not tripping. And yeah, I don't know Celia that well. I just know when I fight her, she sleeps a lot. But I did read her skills and kind of get a little bit more familiar with them. Like, she only sleeps you if she removes a buff. I'm pretty sure that's what it said, because I just read it like 5 minutes ago. But yeah, don't shoot me if I'm wrong. Okay, let's skip ahead. Sorry, I'm ranting. Alright, here we are a little bit further in the video. Again, I'm debating whether I should bring this team. It has Will Shield, the Bulldozer team does, and I'm just hoping she doesn't sleep my Villagewol on the first turn. And if she doesn't, then I should win, but I'm not too confident in that. I don't want to take that big of a risk. I'm not sure what the chances are, but we could calculate it probably, because I think it's like a 50-50 that she removes the Will, and then we do like the accuracy. So you do 0.5 times her odds of landing that skill. So I think it's just an accuracy check at that point, and we would have to know her accuracy. We could probably just assume she has 85, which I think everyone thinks is the accuracy cap for PvP. My Veligil doesn't have 100% resist, but yeah, we could probably do the simple math there and find out whether I would win or lose. But I didn't want to take that risk. I didn't do the math, but I just felt like it probably wasn't a good idea, and the risk would be too high, and I really want to win these fights. So I am going to be picking a destroy team. My Commune has 1 destroy set, my Camilla has 1 destroy set, and the theory behind my team is the Camilla is going to be tanking the Wind Panda out for days, and my fire monsters are going to be tanking Rakan for days, and basically just destroy the Celia slowly but surely, kill her. Then I'm planning on killing Rakan next, because if I do go for the Wind Panda, he can revenge on my fire monsters and defense break them, and then Rakan can kill them. So we're going to go for the Wind Panda last, so he keeps that focus on Camilla. Well, I'm going to do that. I'm pulling a shredded puzzle, I think, how he says, like, we or whatever. Okay, so for the second one, I'm still pretty stumped. Let me skip ahead further and figure out what I pick. Okay, I did pick a team for the second team, and another way of approaching teams is with a CC type team. So my Orion's on Violent, and my Chandra is on Despair, and they have taunts, and I think Chandra has a stun on his first. So I've been using Orion, Ludo, Ritesh as one sort of like CC style team, and I guess the number 1 CC team would be Iris, Verad, I don't know. I've seen some people use that, but I have a different version. Both Beast Monks together are pretty strong, so gonna tackle that with a CC type team, and I'll try to give you guys like my estimation of what the success rate is for both teams to win. This team should have a pretty high chance of winning, I think, against the enemy team. And I am getting destroyed, though, by the Wind Panda. I noticed he wasn't moving that often. I kind of expected my Camilla to get destroyed a bit faster, but I was thankful for that he wasn't taking too many turns. I'm not hitting him, obviously, so he's not getting attack bar, but I've seen some Wind Pandas that just seem to like move a lot and proc and just destroy a ton of health, but that didn't happen here. So that was good for me. I think that would have been one of my lost conditions, just the panda destroying me so low where he can eventually kill me. But as you guys can see, I do have that little shield, the Commune bubble, to help me. When I went into this fight, I got a little worried because I remembered, oh shoot, every single turn I'm going to have a Commune bubble on me, and she might sleep me because of that beneficial effect. Like I said, I mean, I don't have everything memorized to a T. I'm not familiar with Celia, but I'm pretty sure her skill, when I read it, said that she only sleeps you if you have a beneficial effect. But don't get mad at me, because I don't know everything about this game. Yeah. So whatever, killed the Celia. My viewers and I got you guys. You guys got my back. We did it. She's dead. And now I'm going to be killing Rakan. Like I said earlier, I do not want to be going for the Wind Panda second, because if I hit him with my fire monsters, he's got that revenge buff up, and he could potentially defense break my fire monster, and then Rakan would do a ton of damage and maybe kill them. He'd probably have a really good chance of killing them. So we're just going to leave that panda alone, let Camilla tank him, and I'm gonna keep going for Rakan here. And this fight's probably gonna take a bit longer, so I will briefly kind of brief you guys on the next fight. I already did a bit, but I'm gonna be going with a CC team, with Orion, and also my beast monks have stuns and taunts. So the next team I definitely think has a lower chance of success than this team does. So I'm not too confident. Well, I'm pretty confident. Well, maybe not pretty confident. Somewhat confident, but things can definitely go wrong in the next fight. And also, I think one of the siege offenses that I lost was the team that I'm using in the next round, and my Orion didn't proc at all. I had to make sure he was violent because when I do use this team, my Orion procs a lot, and I think it's just kind of normal because I use it a lot. Because he does have violent, and then on his roll, every time he rolls, he has a 30% chance, I think it is, to roll again. So I think it's pretty normal for him to move a lot of times. But yeah, that siege fight was like pretty weird. So my Camilla starts getting destroyed a little bit, and I get a little worried, but I notice her commune bubble is, or shield, whatever. I'm just calling it bubble because I'm used to that term from WoW, I think, is... Yeah, pretty sure I don't know. It's been a long time since I've played WoW, but I think there are like a lot of bubbles in WoW. Like auras that you can cast on people, like priests and paladins. Yeah. Maybe? Okay, whatever. Maybe it's another game I'm thinking of. But WoW does have stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure the terminology is bubble. I'm just wondering, is the terminology correct or is it incorrect? Yeah, but Camilla's doing a good job of surviving. He does hit her a little bit, but my commune's landing the unrecoverable on him, so he's not healing. So I just try to time that a little bit. Well, sometimes I try to time it. So this round is looking mighty bad because they all had will, so that was a really scary thing to see. And I just thought to myself, the odds of success are lower because they all have will. So that's a tip to you guys if you're building defenses. Having shield will or just will can usually be very advantageous. Okay, I was talking and I didn't even really see what happened, but I got the panda really low. The water panda, I think, oh yeah, first turn I think Orion stripped him and defense broke him, so I had a really nice, first-ish. Well, I mean, it wasn't that nice because they had will, but, the light panda moved in between, which meant that I could defense break him with my Ritesh. The Perna still had a will, but, yeah. Oh, nice proc there. So what I'm gonna do is try to go for a taunt. Oh, wait, no. Okay, I'm just gonna finish off the water panda. I'm not really going through my play-by-play or decision-making that well for this round, but I tried to be pretty careful. I think I went for a taunt at one point to try to keep my Orion healthy or alive. So the water panda's gone, and my odds of winning are just going up because I eliminated one of the monsters. My Orion's doing really well on his violent set and rolling to get extra turns. This is probably about average, maybe like above average. The fight's gone on for a super long time, so the longer it goes, the more we'll see, the more procs we'll see or whatever. Not really the more. Sorry, all these technicalities. Some people like to be correct technically. The longer the fight goes on, the more... The times that Violent and his little extra roll on his first skill happen should approach the rates they are. So like limits and stuff like that. The limit does not exist. Just kidding, it does. It's whatever the odds are. Okay, so... That one's down. Hopefully I didn't mess that math up because it sounded pretty slick. Okay, I'm finding a second person to hit, and let me go through my thought process. So when I saw that first team, I said, holy shit, this is so easy with Commune Messity Copper. Let me have it. But then the second team, I really like to copper as well, and you can't bring duplicate monsters, so... I was like, shoot, I have to copper the second team if I'm going to hit this guy. So what am I going to do for the first round? I'm pretty sure my only choice is to copper that second team based on the monsters that I have. I think it's definitely a good thing to move first, so I'm going to be copper bulldozering it, and I'm going to kill the Praha first with copper, because if she strips, things get really nasty, so she needs to be eliminated first. And then the second thing that needs to be eliminated is the Rika, because of her AoE stun. I have lost before to this team. I think I lost to something that I was trying to copper, I think, and she can just kind of go crazy with her sleeps and whatnot, so you have to go for Rika after Praha, and then you have to hope that either the Sierra didn't proc a lot or whatever. I think the odds are in my favor to win, like they're higher than 50% that I win the second round. And for the first team, going for a CC team I think is bad. Most people, I don't know, actually some of my guildies told me, I heard from one of them that he bruisers a lot, but I don't really bruiser, I just like copper things or bulldozer things with my Veligil team. So yeah, it'd probably be bad against this because the immunity on the Heart Magician, even though it's only one turn, it can really like fuck you over. So I don't know. I've just kind of, I think I've lost like maybe once or twice just because of that small immunity, and she does cleanse whichever monster she targets. Like she puts the will buff up on the whole team, but she'll cleanse one thing. So I just thought that I could use my Kali team, Kali, whatever. I keep pronouncing it. I originally pronounced it Kali, but it might be Kali. So I used this team because I can eliminate the Ragdoll immediately, and then I should be able to kill the Harmonia pretty quickly. I was just hoping, and I really thought that the Molong shouldn't proc too many times and shouldn't get too many stuns. My team does have some sustainability because the Kali can put the buff up on herself so she doesn't take damage, and also I have my Tian healing and my Huadam. So I just thought the odds that he goes crazy are probably kind of low. You guys are probably saying, like, what the hell are you talking about? Let me pause this and kind of talk a little bit. Let's actually watch that first fight over, I guess, from the very beginning. Because, you know, whatever, the meme is, like, Molong takes so many turns. He does, but I think the truth is that he won't. So, let's see. We're going to boost her up, and then she'll do this or whatever, right? So, he's dead. So if you think through the survivability on my team, he's not going to keep my Kali perma-stunned. She should be able to kill Harmonia at some point, and once Harmonia is dead, then I'm going to get stuns on the Molong. The Molong's going to have no regeneration whatsoever, and he should eventually die. So let's take a look at this. We have the Reckless Assault come out, and then the immunity, and I'm going to work on the Harmonia a little bit. Going to save my heal because I really don't need to use it right now. And my Huadam procs one thingy. I got a little mad here. One of his, he transferred health, his thing, right? Okay, so I got a little tilted here, or not tilted, just a little worried, because the Molong has not AoE stripped yet. So I need to kind of get that out of him, and I'm about to buff up, so I'm a little worried. Actually, okay, I decided to heal. I probably could have gone for a stun on the Molong. That might have been smarter because the Harmonia already used her cleanse and will buff, so I could have prevented him from stripping, but he probably would have violent procced. I mean, he could violent proc, but that was probably the better play actually, rather than healing. I don't know. So now I'm going to put my buff up. I figure I just need to put it up. I know he does have his AoE strip, but I thought it'd be in my best interest just to put it up. And he may not strip me, so I'm kind of praying right here, don't strip my Kali, and he doesn't. So that's very nice. And basically the Harmonia is going to be dead in 1 millisecond here, so once I got to this point, I was pretty relieved. I thought I probably had the win right now. Well, actually not in a millisecond. My Kali needs to move one more time, then she needs to get buffed up. So she pushes my attack bar back. I'm still watching, like, uh-oh, wait, my attack bar got pushed back, and she could have slept me. That could have been bad. But, yeah, so even if things did go worse, like I got slept and stripped and whatever, I think the Harmonia would have been dead pretty soon anyways, and my Huadam still has, you know, he can still transfer his health. I have my heal, so I think things were in my favor for that match. And then, like I said, once the Harmonia is dead, I can stun the Molong with my Tion. I can put my Huadam buff on him, so I'm pretty safe right here. He has no regeneration, so I think we're good once we get that Harmonia killed. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and kill Praha first, like I told you guys, because her strip is pretty dangerous because of this skill right here, and the bombs. So yes, I am willing to sacrifice my Copper or Emesity to Sierra teams. This is why I built a second Emesity and a second Copper. I picked up this little tip from when I fought Malicious. We've pulled them occasionally over the past couple months, and I decided to build a second Emesity and Copper for this sort of strategy here, willing to sacrifice for the win, but then I have a backup monster. So I actually have 2 Coppers who are pretty good, but my second Emesity doesn't have runes, so I do have to spend the 300,000 mana to transfer the runes over to the second Emesity, and my mana is still doing fine, so that's what I've been doing. And we have to go for the Rika second because, okay, I don't know her skills, but I know she puts like a lot of dots up and sleeps and she stuns, so I just figure go for her. I've also fought a variation like this, and I think maybe I fought something like Sierra Wind Panda, Praha, and I think I saved the Wind Panda for last, and that ended up being a mistake. I don't remember what combination it was, but this is like clear cut, you have to go for the Rika second. So my Emesity resists the bomb. It could have gotten a little sketchy there at the end. If she did kill Emesity, maybe she would have procced and killed my Bulldozer, and my Bulldozer's also very slow. He has no speed, so she could have just lapped him naturally and killed him, so I got a little worried there at the end. But I use that team against like quite a few malicious defenses, and it works well, so I'll keep using it unless I run into some road bumps, and if I start losing, I may reassess that team. Okay, so I just found the last +1 that I was gonna hit. I think there were a few green ones, so I was gonna try to find one, maybe look at the defense logs and see which would be like a challenge, because I've already done pretty well on the first 2 rounds, first 2 swords. But I just didn't want to spend time looking for one, so I just picked this one. It looks pretty good. These are teams that definitely challenge me. They aren't just an immediate pick. Like some teams, I'm just like, I'm gonna Emesity Copper this. A lot of teams can be Commune Emesity Coppered, and I'm just like, let's do it right away, easy, let's go. But this one definitely wasn't. Like a lot of these other ones, I did have to think a little bit about what I was going to use. So both of these teams are pretty susceptible to CC, like my little CC team I have set up here. Some of you guys might be cringing, like, that team's unreliable. I think it's pretty reliable with Violent Orion, and 2 Nat 5s who have, like, overloaded kits that do a ton of stuff. So, yeah, the second team's less susceptible to it because the Light Anubis has a cleanse, so I really want to use it against the first team, and again, Will Shield can really trip me up. If I move first and they have Will Shield, it can get scary. I'm also scared of using it against the first team because the Dark Archangel is neutral to my water monsters, so the Molong, I'm getting a little out of breath here because I've been talking for like, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes straight. The Molong's going to be focusing either Orion or Chandra with his defense break, and then the Dark Dude is going to follow up and hurt a lot, so I'm pretty scared. I feel like I don't have a lot of options. Yeah, the second team gives me a lot of trouble. I think it's really strong. I've also had a little bit of trouble against Sierra plus that combination, so like Sierra and supports. The thing with Theo is you can't really get him to focus anything. For example, if it was Sierra instead of Theomars, I could have ran Commune, Rena, Raccoony. My Rena has a destroy set and my Commune has a destroy set, so I could have started destroying the enemy monsters. and I probably would have won that one, but sometimes it takes a little while. Like, I think I've had fights where I have to destroy all 3 monsters before I actually start winning, so it takes a really long time, but you should be able to win that one. But I can't do that because the Theo's there. So, and then I kind of thought maybe I could copper bulldozer it, like maybe I could copper the light Anubis, I forgot his name, and then maybe bulldozer the Eladriel. The Eladriel does have the HP leader, so he could be out of bulldozer range. Most bulldozers do 40k, like mine does 40k, I think like maybe a little bit over or a little bit under, but I think that's pretty much what everyone's bulldozer does who's in like G3. Probably like the top guilds might have some crazier bulldozers, but yeah, he could be out of that range and they could just get reses off. I didn't really like that strategy. Yeah, that I thought that would be too weird. So what I'm actually gonna do is, for the first round, I decided to settle for coppering it. This is my second copper too. Yeah, pretty sure the first one died. Like 99.99% sure, unless I've gone crazy. But I'm gonna take like a little risk here. So I'm pretty sure I should be able to kill the light Apicion priest. I forgot her name. She does have a res, and when she reses, I think she reses the ally with 30% health and a defense buff, so I could have gone for the Molong first, but that would have been like a little weird. I felt like this was a much cleaner solution, because if I do go for the Molong first, he's gonna get res. Then I thought maybe I could like stun him and eventually kill him, but he's gonna have that defense buff, so that just didn't sound too good to me. So I went for the Apicion priest and she died. I'm trying to recall in the past if I had any issues with Apicion priest surviving, but maybe I did, maybe I didn't, I don't know. Yeah, she died, so my Commune still had buffs up on him, so even though the Molong reckless assaulted, I felt pretty comfortable, but then the, what's his name, Fermion, the Dark Archangel stripped him a little bit, so I got a little worried, but things went pretty smoothly because the Molong doesn't have any sort of recovery, so I think this dude's, yeah, I don't think he has a heal. I think he just has like a taunt on his first, which is like pretty scary, and the second skill's just like Fella Jewels, where it just does damage, and his third must be the passive, I guess, I don't quite know, but yeah, so the Molong had no way of recovering, and he was already really low from reckless assaulting, so then I just slowly finished the Fermion. I probably should have known that matchup a little bit better, because that fight went pretty smoothly. Yeah, I probably should have known that, but I always I'm like really extremely guessing myself that I don't know what the Dark Archangel's skills are, probably because I'm recording, and trying to like remember, did I remember that he doesn't have a heal? Pretty sure I did. Yeah, sorry, I just get like really hyper worried because some people have like pointed out things that I don't know or like mistakes, and I think I'm like completely fine. Like, I'm fine. I know stuff and I do pretty well. Okay, so let me back it up and figure out how this first turn went, because that's important. So, Will Shield, probably pretty important. I think you want to put all of these monsters on Violent though, which means you can't have a shield set. But the other two probably should be on Will, I would think. The Eladriel and the Light Anubis. But yeah, the first turn should go pretty smoothly. When I see my Orion remove the Will buff, I was pretty happy with this first turn. Could have been worse, so I feel like I'm in a pretty good position. I may even pop Theo's passive, which I do, but then he gets cleansed, obviously, I knew that, but I kind of didn't expect it when it happened, and I'm thinking, oh shoot, okay, I need to start getting my CC back up, because that's kind of the point of my team, keep them under control, because they don't have many cleanses. They do have the Light Anubis cleanse, but they're kind of low on that. Teams that are like super susceptible to my team right here, or some sort of CC team like Orion, Ludo. I usually use Ritesh because he's one of the monsters that I have that has like the biggest kit. He has like AoE damage, and with Ludo defense break and Orion defense break, the AoE is still useful to do like tons of damage, and Ritesh has a heal and taunts, so usually I go for him when I use that team. I don't really know if I have anything else that could work. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that thought process. But this team does have more, like a little bit of a safeguard against CC. So my Orion gets some nice procs, and he's rolling and getting extra turns, and he's on violent. So the enemies are getting low, and I'm just gonna keep applying my CC and hopefully kill them. So yeah, that fight went pretty well, I thought, and I will be able to finish everything eventually. Yeah, that Light Anubis is really scary with his brand and defense break. So Elatriel does have some strips. He could have removed my hug from my water monsters, and that probably wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But I have to be careful about that, because sometimes I'll bring this team against Molong teams because Molong has no way of like cleansing stuff, but Molong can strip that hug. So something to keep in mind, but I haven't really ran into too many problems with it, because I don't use this team very much, because I'm more fond of using teams that you know that you're going to win. There's no bruisering and slowly playing, slowly winning. I just use Copper and Kali and Bulldozer pretty much. But yeah, these teams were definitely tough, and I had to take a lot of time to think about what I was going to use. I'm sorry there weren't any losses or draws. I feel like I need to do a better job of showing like losses and draws, but losses and draws do piss me off a lot, and I don't want to show those because I get really mad. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed all of this analysis and learned something. Feel free to help people in the comments or tell me like what teams you would have used. I will give you bonus points if you have free to play or easy to obtain teams like Kamut, Amesity, Copper, for example, because most people have access to those, but these defenses were hard, I thought. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you guys later.